want to go ahead and kick this thing off and talk about the best performance of the week. And I got Caleb Williams.
Let's go.
No, let's not go. No. Hold on, slow down.
This is not the worst. This is not the worst.
It is not the worst, but it's the best for different reasons.
Okay.
It's not the performance of what he did on the court. None of that shit. I mean, on the field, it doesn't matter. It's preseason. He wasn't really playing against shit. A lot of shit was vanilla. It don't really mean shit. But I have been seeing a lot of negative press about Caleb Williams, him struggling to pick up the offense with Ben Johnson. And they've been really, really like dogging this guy. And for him to go out and at least show something, because I think there was a lot of the way they were talking, it was going to be extremely negative. So I think that for him to show some sort of mental resolve, I suppose, to get out there and work to try to pick it up, I think is, I don't want to say admirable to a certain degree because you're the number one damn pick. But, it shows that he's not resting on his laurels, that he's willing to learn and grow and try to get better, and not think that he's the shit, because you number one pick, everybody's ranting and raving about you. All that stuff don't mean anything until you step on the court, on the football field, and you got to show and prove. So you got a guy in there that we've seen do it. And I don't know if Ben Johnson's expectations were different because he came from Jared Goff, who's a veteran quarterback, and now you got this guy in his second year who has the institute and learn a whole new offense. I don't know what the disconnect was, but nevertheless, I don't know what the hell was going to be on that football field when he got on there with the way they were talking. And I think the jury's still out. I still don't know how this shit's going to look by week 4, 8, 9, 15. But nevertheless, he didn't look as awful as I thought he was going to look based on the things that they were saying about him. And we ain't got a lot to pick from. So I'm going to give it to Caleb, man.
It's okay. A couple things. Number one, there's a reason why he didn't play the first week of the preseason. And a lot of it had to do with Ben Johnson and that offense. Ben Johnson has come out and said that we wanted to throw the whole kitchen sink at him and see what stuck with him. He knew that Caleb wasn't going to be able to pick it up because Caleb never ran a sophisticated offense like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was the expectation, was for him to figure out what it is that works, right? And they figured that out. And what you saw, and I agree, obviously it's preseason, the defense isn't running anything exotic. It's a lot of base stuff that you're seeing. They did play against the ones, saying defensively, the majority of them. But what we saw, Ken, is somebody that was playing on time and on rhythm. And what we know from a Ben Johnson offense, that's what you want. And I think my biggest takeaway was the Bears got weapons, bro. Colston Loveland, the tight ends that they just drafted in the first round, he's a guy. Luther Burden, the fourth wide receiver that they got, like, he can make plays. The first two wide receivers that they got and the slot, they can all make plays. So, and the other big takeaway was Caleb had a clean pocket. Even in preseason last year, we knew that O-line was an issue. So they shored that up. Ken, I'm not too high, but if they continue to progress, it's going to be a good division, that NFC North.
Well, we've heard FIFO's take, but let's hop into it. Quarter one, man. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears had an impressive showcase of their new team and offense in Sunday night's preseason matchup against the Buffalo Bills at home in Chicago, winning 38-0. With high expectations coming into this season, who will receive the most praise if the team has a successful season, and who will face the most criticism if they do not?
Ben Johnson is going to get the most praise if they have a good season. If they have a bad season, the praises, the criticism will go towards Caleb Williams.
I agree, Luke.
That's how it's going to happen this season. Like, because they think Ben Johnson
is that fair?
Yeah.
Well, Nick, it's not necessarily fair because we don't know how it's going to play out. But regardless, it may not be fair because we don't know how. Like I said, we don't know what's going to happen. But regardless, that's how it's going to be. You're right, Luke.
It all depends.
And my bad, Q. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying this all depends on the style of losing and winning. Like everything in the NFL is not just about wins and losses. It's about how you win. It's about how you lose. That allows
Context.
people to you got to have context to commentate.
But over a season of time, we know what something is and what something isn't.
But
right?
the thing is, though, is that for me, I believe that Caleb Williams is closer to Trevor Lawrence than he's closer to Lamar Jackson or whatever, right? So I think that ultimately I'm kind of dug in on where I see his career going. He's going to have to prove me wrong. But it all just depends on, is Caleb throwing mad interceptions or does the team look like garbage? You know what I'm saying? Like, does Caleb look lost? No, for real, Nick. Does Caleb look lost as a player, or does the team look like they don't even know how to line up properly? There's infighting in the locker room, because then that's a leadership thing. And I think that's when Chicago media starts tearing coaches apart. And they're not, foreign to doing that. But they're also not foreign to being like, Justin Fields can't get the playbook down. Justin Fields don't know how to throw. They will throw their quarterback or their coach under the bus. And depending on how they lose these games, if they're going to lose, if they have a great season, I think that they kind of get dual praise here, but Ben Johnson gets a little bit more. But if they look like shit, it's just a matter of who looks the worst. Is it the team play or is it just Caleb?
My thing is,
hold on real quick, Nick. There's a couple things, though, Q, that I agree and disagree with you. I think that Ben is definitely going to get the praise because we saw what it looked like last year. And in the context of it, that they were not structured, number one. Number two, clock management was horrible, and that's a coaching thing. We knew that the coach was Matt Eberflus was the biggest question mark in the thing. We all knew that Caleb had some level of talent, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was going to be realized or not, that was on coaching. This year, they short of the O-line, they got even more weapons, and now they have a guy that we know is structured and is super creative, arguably the most creative play caller. You know what I'm saying? Not that wasn't a head coach last year. So at the end of the day, if they do look good, right, and it's not Caleb throwing crazy wild passes and stuff like that, but wide receiver bobbled it and it was an interception, just like we saw with Lamar Jackson last year. Lamar had 5 interceptions total, and 4 of them wasn't his fault. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the context, then Ben still gets the praise. I think, again, to one of your points, I think it could be a bit shared, but I think Ben gets the majority of the praise because he's the biggest difference from this year to last year.
Lou, I interrupted you. Well, you got interrupted a long time ago, but you can go finish your point before I go and say my shit.
No, go ahead. I forgot what I was saying.
My thing is, bro, Sheldon, when can we start judging quarterbacks? You know what I'm saying? Do we gotta wait till the whole room is renovated and we got love seats and lazy boys and we got a Basquiat on the wall? Is that when we can judge them? Or do we judge them based off the situation of being the number 1 overall pick? Means that you go into a shitball organization 9 times out of 10. Sometimes you get lucky. And you're there to turn it around, especially at the quarterback position. So to me, even though a lot of this season to me is based off of what Ben Johnson do, for better or for worse, this is where the clock starts for Caleb Williams. We can excuse 1 year. We did the same thing with Trevor Lawrence. But once you in year 2, bro, this is where we start counting these games. And I think Caleb's more like Jared Goff than anything. So I think that's why I think this is a good transition for him potentially.
Nick, what you be watching? Bro, I need to send you my glasses, dog, because you blind as hell.
How is he like Jared Goff?
Sheldon,
how is he like Jared Goff?
Sheldon, what do they call me on this show? The QB. What do they call me? The QB whisperer.
They don't. They don't.
Not at all.
Hey, that's you gotta talk to them. You gotta talk to them.
That's what you call yourself.
You gotta talk to them, bro. You gotta talk to them. That's what
Nick,
she said.
how is he like?
That's what they say, Nick.
I'm saying he's like Jared Goff in the sense of I don't know, Q, you may be on. I don't know if you're on the same side with me on this.
I think he's Trevor Lawrence more than
I think he's more Jared Goff as far as like he can help make your system look really, really good, but he can't do anything without a system, if that makes sense.
No,
like,
I think that
he's not a quarterback to me that I'm like, go win me the game based off of being you. To me, he's more like go win me the game based off of execution.
I think.
What is you talking about?
I think he wins games because he's.
I think he's a more talented version of Jared Goff, which is why I think Ben Johnson is really happy to be with him because he can sign like I can.
Hey Nick, you need the week off, boy. You need the week off.
Take that do-rag off. That do-rag too tight. So what happens is
all I'm saying is like that's what
Caleb
that's how
Williams,
you
Caleb
that's how
Williams
you
is
can-
more. He's an improviser, and Ben Johnson has a system.
And where's that guy? Hey Sheldon, where'd that get him?
Nowhere so far. Nowhere thus far.
Matt Eberflus is the worst coach in the league last year. So that's
it's
what
not. It's not. You know who's a better. You know who's the better head. You know who's the better head coach that I know you would say for sure will be.
What
is Lincoln Riley better than Matt Eberflus as a head coach?
Probably yes.
All right. So and what did he do that last year? What did he do that last year in college? Phil?
He still pull up numbers though. But at the end of the day, Nick, the Bears were the worst offensive team in the whole NFL. Do you understand that they did not score a touchdown on opening drives the whole year? So the first possession that they get, they never scored a touchdown. That is Matt Eberflus all the way.
That's
just
fine.
In case you didn't know what that meant, Nick.
Yeah, exactly. Right. and after I've already said that we've excused this first year, so
I understand that.
So my
But
my thing is
that's not his game.
Lou,
He's not a system quarterback.
Lou, my point was this. You were talking about why bring up college because his last year in college was not that good, and his first year in the NFL was not that good. So
his last year in college was perfectly acceptable. So Patrick Mahomes last year in college, he did what he was supposed to do. He won the games he could win. He ain't got as much control over the other positions like he would in the NFL team.
As a full-time starter,
he did what he's supposed to do. Like
but he
wasn't going to win a championship with USC, just like Texas Mahomes wasn't going to win a champion. Just like Mahomes was going to win a championship with Texas Tech. Mahomes. The difference in what you're saying and what's actually happened is he is an improviser, and Ben Johnson has a real strict. He is. That's what he's best at. When he get outside the pocket, he start making plays.
He's not a system.
I'm saying, we don't know that in the NFL.
Yeah, we do know that, Nick. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. Look. I'm putting it to you like this.
He flashed it.
Look, what Mahomes is an improviser in a system. Right? What's the head coach?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid has a system, but we've seen Andy Reid's system with other improviser quarterbacks. Donovan McNabb. I need you to play like this. If it breaks down, do what you do, and then it's great. That's exactly what Caleb Williams is. We need you to play within the confines, and when it breaks down, do what you do. What are you talking about?
This is what I mean by saying that he's not an improviser. Are y'all saying I'm not saying that he doesn't look like he can improvise because clearly he has the skill and talent to do that. I'm saying it has not been successful. Just because you can do something
because he had a bad coach.
Thank you. And that's why I said
there's not structure there.
And that's why y'all missing my whole point. That's why I said we excuse.
Choose your words more carefully.
No, because y'all not listening. Excuse the first year. I said excuse the first year. How many times have I said that? I said even though I think this is a big year for Ben Johnson, I can understand why people think this is a big year for Caleb because it's like how long are we waiting to say like okay now he's finally ready to be judged? It's like we don't do that for nobody else. We ain't give nobody else that
we
time.
do it for everybody. We still doing it for Trevor Lawrence.
Did we do that for Bryce? Did we do that for Bryce
Herbert? They did it for Herbert.
We're doing it for all.
We did do it for Bryce Young. We did do it for Bryce Young.
Bryce Young was talking about getting traded his second year.
I mean, but
and now he's in a good spot.
But we still
doing it for
we hung tough with Tua. We hung tough with all these QBs. I will say is that we're at a point in NFL and really just sports in general where if you don't flash within your first 2 years, the odds is that you won't be a generational talent or you won't be a superstar. Exactly. But it's not that we can't find outliers or there is not some level of
but them outliers ain't number one overall pick.
I understand that for sure. I understand that, and that's why I keep saying. That's why I keep saying. From what I've seen, I see more Trevor Lawrence from him in Caleb Williams than I see in being a Joe Burrow type.
What does that mean to you? What is Trevor Lawrence?
To me, what that means is I don't see generational talent. I see a solid quarterback. I see a solid QB. I don't really see anything.
That's why I said Jared Goff.
I mean, what if Trevor Lawrence had a good coach like we think Ben Johnson is, though? He's never had a good coach.
He had a Super Bowl winning coach.
I think I don't know. See, because the thing is,
questionable.
I'm somewhere in between. I'm between Nick and I'm between FIFO in terms of these takes, because it's like I feel Nick and I feel FIFO on he's flashed some good stuff, and I also feel Nick on the sense of, bro, we got to call a spade a spade. I'm at the point where with Caleb Williams, he's gonna have to prove me wrong, and I'll gladly say I'm wrong. But I believe from what I've seen, I don't like his attitude. I don't like the personality for the quarterback position, and I just think he gets happy feet too much. And I'm hoping that if I'm going on FIFO's take, that Ben Johnson brings more structure and brings more of a, look at the first read. If the first read ain't there, I got a safety spot for you with the tight end, or I got this soft spot in the zone that we're going to find for you the same way that Jared Goff was able to do that with Laporta and those people last year. But the issue is can Caleb remain calm? And I don't know if he can do that. That's why I say Trevor Lawrence. So that's just me.
You don't see the dog in him, huh?
I don't see no dog. I think
that's kind of
like Sheldon.
He got talent.
All that crying on the sideline and shit with his mom, like that shit do something to me, bro. Like, that really means something.
It did, and that's why I don't understand. That's why I understand Lou or FIFO. FIFO over here contemplating about hitting motherfuckers at 35 plus just for the gimme.
I was not 35, and I played quarterback. I wasn't hitting nobody, my boy.
And he don't understand the dog in somebody, but then he gonna tell me like this nigga just because Caleb Williams run around in a circle 3 times before he throw a football, he's supposed to be a death-defying quarterback. I ain't seen shit yet.
I'm wondering what quarterback.
Tell me the last time he done something for me to say that's some good shit.
I'm wondering what quarterbacks of his generation that you do see dog in. Is it CJ Stroud? Is it Jordan Love?
CJ Stroud is definitely
Stroud is a good one.
J-Lo is definitely one.
The top 3, you already know the elite ones, right? Burrow,
Jaden Daniels.
Y'all think those dudes have hearts, and y'all think that Caleb Williams?
I didn't say he don't have a heart. I just say he got to prove it to me.
It look a little different right
now.
They
proved it to you. They proved it to you.
Yeah,
like Jalen Hurts.
Why are you asking these questions? Yes, nigga.
Jalen Hurts is proving to you he got heart.
Yes.
What?
Okay. And what's my guy from Houston name?
CJ Stroud.
He just absolutely,
bro. Even Dak Prescott
and Jordan Love.
Yes.
Even Dak Prescott has proven to me that he has heart, bro.
Every one of the ones you named have stepped up in big moments. You saw Jordan Love step up and dog your Cowboys in the playoff game. You saw CJ Stroud win a playoff game. You seen Jalen Hurts go to the Super Bowl twice. Those guys that you named all have heart, and they have more heart than they do talent, even. So that's something.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to hear all this foo-foo shit when y'all talking about some. We gotta wait and see.
But all those guys got structure though.
No, but
all them got. Nick, all them guys got structure. See, because that was the worst team in the league, and the Bears were one of the worst teams. They weren't the worst. It was the Panthers, but either way, because of the trade, that's how they got the number 1 pick. But all of those other guys that you talked about, especially Jalen Hurts, structure. We're talking about CJ Stroud. Yeah, he had a rookie head coach, but the rookie head coach had structure, even though he was the defensive head coach. Right, he's on the defensive side of the ball, but they brought structure. This is how we are going to be good. And hold on, okay, I'm gonna get to you. The same way that I put in the chat, like y'all niggas didn't believe in Dan Campbell, but what Dan Campbell gave y'all was structure and rah-rah. Y'all didn't like the rah-rah, but I saw the structure with it. What Ben Johnson is bringing to Chicago is structure. He's holding Caleb at a high regard. Hey, this is how we play quarterback. And here's the thing, right? It's about the details. Ben Johnson talked to him about Q, what you were just talking about. Your body language, bro. All of that shit matters when you are the starting quarterback, when you're the number 1 quarterback. Right. Ben Johnson's going to hold him to that standard because he has the talent. And then we're going to see Ben Johnson extrapolate it. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to become Mahomes. I'm not saying that, but I know that Ben Johnson is going to be better for Caleb Williams than Matt Eberflus. And you wanted to say, and you wanted a situation where he flashed. I don't know what you was doing for Thanksgiving, but I was watching the Bears and the Lions, and Caleb Williams had a lot of good plays. That game was lost on coaching. That game wasn't lost on a rookie.
That was also lost on him too.
That was lost on the coaching, not calling the timeout.
two things.
No, it wasn't. How are you putting that much pressure on a rookie quarterback, bro?
Because when I said my boy Jaden Daniels to go far and take off, what he do, FIFO? He took off.
That was a good game.
He had better offense. No, he had better offense in mind.
That was a good game. The issue is that once again, going back to more of Nick's side, is that we do see in certain situations where guys don't have that much structure. They might have a coach that brings a little bit more identity or hierarchy, but the structure in terms of like your day in and day out duties and objectives that coaches bring and keep you in line with how to run your position, how to actually do your job. There's certain coaches that do that very well, and there's certain coaches to me like Dan Campbell who bring identity and hierarchy of like belief, like, you know what I mean? Like we actually believe in the concept of what this team is. It's never say die. We are going to be accountable to each other. But there's certain coaches like Andy Reid that bring structure. Like this is how we're going to play situational football. This is how we play defense. This is how we play offense, 2-minute drill, 3-minute drill, whatever it is. And the issue for me, when I look at Caleb Williams in comparison, Jaden Daniels in Washington, I don't think people look at the coach Campbell blew the Quinn. Dan Quinn. I don't think people were looking at him like he was going to be this major success in Washington.
Or Cliff Kingsbury.
Jaden Daniels made them look better. CJ Stroud. Let's all remember. People thought CJ Stroud was not going to be who he was the first couple games, and DeMeco Ryans. People thought that they reached with that hire, and then you see what happened there. Jalen Hurts, the same thing. Dak Prescott, the same thing. But yet, all these quarterbacks, even fucking Brock Purdy. I mean, and I get he has Shanahan, so maybe we'll disqualify him. But in some level or not, there's been quarterbacks around the league who've been drafted in the first round who have elevated situations that were either in limbo or were question marks, and they've gone on to become top 10, unquestioned top 5 for certain guys. So I think that Caleb Williams is being subject to proper criticism here, and I don't think you're wrong either way right now because it's just in limbo, and we got to see.
And my biggest fault with Caleb Williams is.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. I was gonna say Ken got to get his point.
Shelton can go because Shelton hasn't been saying anything.
I'm gonna go quick, Ken. But my biggest fault with him is that he, unlike most first picks, he was blessed with the most talent around him, and it wasn't just regular talent; it was veteran leadership talent as well. So he came into a situation that was ready-made for success for a number 1 pick with the amount of talent that he has. Now, he could have had a better coach. We know that for certain, but it is what it is. And this year, he is under the microscope.
Yeah, my thing when I was reading the articles, it really comes down to it's not about talent, it's about attitude. And would he be open to the criticisms and the toughness that Ben Johnson was bringing? And that was my biggest concern based on the things that I was reading. And will he accept it? Because if he doesn't, then he's going to be out of there. So so far it seemed like at first he wasn't, if I'm reading in between the lines, but it seemed like he's starting to come around and realize that he ain't really done anything in this league and he ain't really nobody in this league. You're only somebody if you win, and you can be. I mean, Brock Purdy turned into a guy, of all people. So, because he had the one thing you guys were talking about, a system and a structure and pieces around him that was able to make him successful. We've seen what happened with Brady, when he came into the league as a 6th-round pick. So, and we've seen plenty of first-round picks fail, with all of the talent that they have. So, talent don't really mean much of anything. It's all about what you do with it when you get on that football field. And if you think he's the hot shit, he'll be out of there. He'll be out of there in no time.
And my thing is, I'm giving the brother some time, so I don't know why people say I'm trying to be a hater or not, because I'm saying this is Ben Johnson year. Who the fuck is Ben Johnson? If FIFA was over here trying to give out some rah-rah points about Ben Johnson, I'm like, nigga, I ain't never seen him be a head coach. Shit. The way DeMeco Myers at least was in the damn Super Bowl before he became head coach. That nigga gambled his goofy ass away out of a Super Bowl. To me, that's why Ben Johnson. I'm on watch for him, permanent for all season. You might as well put that for me again. Yes, because a lot of people putting on watch for Caleb this year too. I'm putting the same thing on that head coach. We got to keep the same energy.
More to Caleb It speaks a lot more to Caleb.
No, it
if
don't.
That
No,
offense
it don't.
this year.
No, it does not. It does not. It does not. It does not. Because then we could just chalk it up
his quarterback.
because we could chalk
That's
it
what
up.
they can always fall. They can always fall back on that. That's not my
No.
Not with as much talent. Not as much talent. Not as
He
much
took the
talent.
job, bro.
Exactly.
He took the job because Caleb was there.
Exactly.
He knew Caleb was there. He can't do that, and he know Caleb was going to be there.
Exactly.
He can go into that front office.
That's why I don't fuck with Sean Payton.
If Caleb struggles, he can go into that front office after this year and say, "This is not the dude."
Spike.
That's why I don't fuck with Sean Payton because he did that same bullshit to Russell Wilson.
He can.
So Russell Wilson is not the guy.
He can.
Bo Nix is better than Russell Wilson
today. Employed at that place. They listen to him. Nick Johnson can do the same thing. They got more faith in him as a coaching hire than they do in Caleb Williams as a quarterback hire.
Hold on, Sheldon. FIFO. Where did Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin's season end? Was that in the first round?
What does that matter? They
still.
I'm saying the quarterback.
The Broncos. Hold on.
The quarterback.
The Broncos been trash.
Went to the
Broncos been trash. And let's not forget.
Y'all about to argue about something that don't even matter. I want to address Spike because Spike, you don't think when he interviewed that job, the GM and the hiring managers, whomever they are, sat down and talked to him about Caleb Williams and whether or not he would be the guy for him. You don't think that conversation took place?
I think that happened, and I think that he had enough leverage to say, yeah, that's cool, but if I do this first season and he ain't doing what I need him to do, it might be him. I think that they're going to give him a lot more leverage than they're going to give to Caleb Williams.
Right. Yeah, because it's a new ownership group. No. It's a new ownership group too. And when you have a new ownership group, bro, everybody can go because that head coach is not married to that quarterback.
They can't afford it. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
They cannot afford to let Caleb go.
I can draft a quarterback next year.
No, you can't. All right, so it's just so easy to go draft a quarterback.
Thank you.
It's just so damn easy to go draft a quarterback.
They suck.
Cardinals did it.
If they suck and they say it's because of Caleb Williams, they're going to draft a quarterback in a draft this year coming up that has a lot of good quarterbacks. They're going to say, okay, let's take a new quarterback.
There's only two quarterbacks coming out of this.
Hold on. All right, for one, them drafting would not make sense because that mean they have blown 2 first-round picks because Justin Fields was a first, and they gave away
Johnson's fault.
And they gave away a first-round pick. They gave away a first-round pick. That's 3 first-round picks of quarterbacks that has been blown away.
Again, if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm walking into that office in the front room like none of that shit is my fault. I told y'all he might be good, he might not be. I tried to make him better. He sucked. Let's take another quarterback.
That's not how it's gonna work, bro. He's there for 4 years. No matter how this year turns out, he's there for 4 years, bro. The worst case scenarios, they won't pick up his option. He's there for 4 years, regardless. Ben Johnson has to make it work. Like that's what it is, bro.
That's facts. And hold on, Sheldon. Lou is the worst person to have in a damn negotiation. He over here saying goofy shit. My thing is this: Ben Johnson got to make. He has to prove. At least I think Caleb, as a first overall pick, is going to get many chances in this league just because of that title alone. So that's why I'm saying this is on Ben Johnson because he went out goofy, and if he come in here goofy, he goofy. That's all I'm trying to say.
Nick, I would kind of agree with you, but the league is looking at him like he's that guy. That's how he's looked upon. They don't look at that. That's why they don't look at that. But they ain't looking at that last game. They're just looking at that team as a whole and all that they've done over this time. All that is on his back. They don't look at Campbell for that. They look at him like he's the mastermind behind that success that team.
I know that's what I'm saying, and I don't think that's true.
Wait, hold on. So you gave Dan Campbell all that flack, and then now you're going to say that the offense wasn't because of Ben Johnson?
I'm saying, since when have we ever given a coordinator more respect than the head coach?
First of all, we know that Dan Campbell.
Who?
Well, what was the guy?
Kyle
Shanahan was one, right?
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan was one.
There was the coordinator Brady had. I mean, not Brady had, but Belichick had.
We blame Kyle Shanahan more than we blame Dan Quinn.
But that wasn't what your question was, though.
Yeah, I said exactly. That's why I said, who do we praise as a coordinator more than we praise as a head coach?
Yeah, we praise Kyle Shanahan more than
was praised more as a coordinator
than Dan Quinn.
Right. That's why he got the blame.
Exactly. Nick, it has happened in the past, and at the end of the day, there's certain type of archetypes of head coach, right? Your favorite head coach out there in Pittsburgh, he's this type of head coach. He's a CEO type of head coach, right? Where he delegates. What's the hardball that's in LA right now? I always get him confused. John Harbaugh is also a delegate type of head coach. Hey, I need my coordinator. I need everybody to do their job, and I'll manage everything. That's what Dan Campbell
Vic Fangio gets more credit than Nick Sirianni for
100%.
Nick Sirianni don't deserve no credit.
All right. Anyway,
y'all naming the bottom of the barrel.
We're answering the question.
But you gave me two. Again, let me finish. I said you gave me two goofy ass answers, but I'll take it. I guess. all I'm just saying. On average, we are always giving more credit to the head coach than the coordinator. And until the coordinator succeeds, then it wasn't until Kyle Shanahan was actually doing shit with the 49ers. We're like, oh, he was the real engine behind that Falcon shit. Granted, you could give him credit early, but still, it solidified.
That's
what's
the
49ers?
No, that's not true either, Nick. It just depends on who leads the team. Like if your coordinator, if you're a heavy offense and your offense is the primary force of your winning, then you lean on that team. Like you lean on that part of the team. Like that's written. That's the coordinator. Like that's just how it goes. It's not always that, and that's why the examples they gave, they're leaning on basically whatever is the driving force of that win. Like, what was the driving force for the Eagles last year? Like it was the defense for the most part. Like the offense
it was the offense, bro. It was the offense, bro. Don't do that. The offensive line and the running back.
But listen, offensive line is not the same. The offensive line is not the same as saying the offense as a unit.
That is offense. What are you talking about?
Not the same thing.
As a coaching unit, you're not looking at just the offensive. You're looking at the defense as a coaching unit, and that's why
it was the whole offense. You had AJ Brown, you had fucking Devontae Smith, you had Saquon Barkley, and you had that Saquon. That's the whole fucking offense.
It was Saquon.
Not bullshit.
It was the offensive line.
They didn't have a quarterback that could do enough to make.
So what was the running back? What is the running back? They didn't have a great running back. They had one of the greatest running back. Right. They had one of the greatest seasons.
Greatest offensive lines.
Exactly. That's the whole offense, bro.
And a mid quarterback.
What about the receivers? they have an A+ plethora of receivers.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Lou, what happened to Eberflus?
That's how a mid quarterback wins Super Bowls.
Lou, what happened to Eberflus? He was a horrible coach. What happened to him?
Topic,
Yep.